Now as a country and nation, all rise for the national anthem. We stand here together, united with pride, beneath our flag, waving gallantly on high. Across the land our people did ride, noble steeds of steel. Against the tide, longboats and galleons, they bring our people home. The old gods, they called us to the sacred stones. Nomads together, no longer we roam. We reap the fruits of the seeds we sow, for from tiny acorns the mighty oak grows. We're busting out of the box, we're breaking the mold. We're no longer trusting the fairy tales we're sold. No longer buying the poisons we're sold. The men and women of Wayward are going back to the old. Hey y'all, welcome back to another video on the Kingdom of Wayward. I'm King Raoul Halvar of Wayward, and today we're going to be doing another micronational review, and we're going to be going to check out the Republic of Vensia. Now this is the first one that we're going to be doing that hasn't posted a tweet on the tweet that we put on Twitter back before Christmas last year. So we've made our way through that list, and if you want to check out the reviews that we've done on those micronations, you can do by finding the playlist on the channel of the Kingdom of Wayward, and there's a whole bunch there to make your way through, so you can check them out, because we've already done all of the ones that got in contact last year via Twitter. However, the Republic of Vensia was not one of them. They did not comment a tweet. They did not tweet a Twitter. They just assumed that we would know them, and they left a comment. So as you can see, they've been waiting a long time. They've been waiting a long time to have a review. However, they never told us about them until then. So we're going to review them today, because we don't want them to get any more impatient than they already have been. Though if you do want to have your micronation reviewed, then feel free to leave a comment and I will get around to it eventually. Please do take into account that I do not mean any offense, and I don't mean to insult anybody in the way that I am doing these reviews or conducting these reviews. It's just constructive criticism from what you put out there. And I know that it can rub people up the wrong way, and people do want to get defensive, and they will get defensive. That's your right to get defensive. But my reply to that is, don't get defensive, just go and do better. Because I'm reading what you're putting out there. I'm reading what you've put out there for the public eye. Maybe you're like Wayward. If you were to try and do a review on Wayward, it would be very, very quickly over and done with, and you wouldn't get a lot of information from it, because we keep everything private. And maybe you are like that, and that's fine if you're like that. I'm not judging you if your micronation is private and it's kept to yourself. That's not what I have this issue with, and I don't care why or what you're doing in your micronation, or why you're doing it, or why you found it. I don't necessarily care about any of that. What I care about is how you claim to be a micronation, or a micronation will claim to be a micronation by definition, but then not be a micronation by definition, but rather a micronation through their own admission of, I want to be a micronation, so now I am a micronation, because if you deny me being a micronation, then that just makes you a bully, and that is exactly why I want to be a micronation, to get away from the bullies. And again, I can kind of appreciate this, but it's the real world's going to just spit you out, eat you up and spit you out. And maybe you are just a hobbyist, maybe it is just a game to you, maybe it is just fun, but then it's not a micronation, is it? It's make-believe. It's a game. It's a fairy tale. It's a playground activity amongst children using their imaginations to play castles and knights. That's all it is. Whereas in the real world, micronational communities can do wonderful things. They can do amazing things. They can go beyond what it is to be a definition of a micronation and actually aspire to be more than that and have a functional community and take part in a lot of different things around the world and around the macronations or in the macronations that they are situated. And we have seen some of these. We have seen in some of these micronations already that don't only benefit their own people and benefit their citizens and themselves, but they're also benefiting the environments around them. They're benefiting the natural beauty of their villages and towns that they are residing in. They are doing lots of different things to aspire to be more than just that micronation. But we've also seen the other end of the scale, haven't we? We've also seen the ones that I would not necessarily categorize as a micronation, because yet again, I have to just bring this back in to kind of bring it into context for those that may not necessarily know what a micronation is or isn't. But a micronation does have a definition, and there are a lot of things that you can tick off to meet the criteria of a micronation. And some of these micronations, they just don't tend to take that seriously enough. They think they're above that. They think because that they can break themselves away from society norm or the rules, that then the rules don't count for them when it comes to a micronation or being a micronation. But I assure you that in the real world, those that are looking out from the outside in are either going to judge you one of two ways, and that is, yes, this person is a micronational thing. They're micronational. They have a micronational leader, they have a micronational community, they're doing micronational things, and they will be recognised as a micronation, as we have recognised other communities as that micronation of which they stand under. But then there'll be other micronations that are a joke. And you are just a joke. And you can take offence to that, that's up to you, but that's not my problem. That's yours. Because you've made your micronation that way. So you do better, you change, you aspire for better, you do more. Take what I'm saying, use it constructively, and do better in the future. And if it doesn't bother you and you just think, why do I have to listen to you? You're just this guy that's telling me what I should do as a micronation, then ignore me. Ignore me. Don't get defensive. Don't come here justifying your micronational stance or defending what I've seen on your micronational social medias. Don't come here hating on me. You're looking in a mirror here. Hate on yourself. Get better. Do better. Or not. And if you're not, shut up about it. Let's get on with this. Let's go check out the Republic of Vensia. Right, so, Republic of Vensia. This is what they've commented here. Oh, hey, we were wondering if you could make a review on our nation. We have been waiting a while. I'm not quite sure how they expect me to know they even existed until now. But what we'll do is, because we're on YouTube, we'll just start with YouTube and go straight to their YouTube channel and see what we've got. Right, so this is their YouTube. They've got 11 videos, 8 subscribers. They've got a description here. The Republic of Vensia is a micronation located in India. Straight to the point. That's good. Yep. All right. Yeah. We are. Do you know what? I've actually learned more about this micronation in the first minute than I have many other micronations that we've already done. At least we know where they are. They're in India. They are a democracy-based nation, and they believe that people are power. Yeah. Vensia has its own global currency and own anthem. We are established in November the 6th, 2021. The president is Mr. Nodal, and their current population is 44. Okay, all right. Well, let's get on with it, shall we? Let's have a little look. Right, they've made claims of national anthems and stuff like this. We've got one video here in the videos section, which is the national anthem itself. So let's check this out first. This is good. I like this. Straight to the point. Though this was only uploaded 6 days ago, so I feel perhaps they've asked for a review because they've seen what we're reviewing and they're putting it up. And then they've gone, right, he can't give us a bad review because he's going to find everything that he's looking for. That's what I'm getting this feeling of. You were founded in 2021. But your national anthem was only uploaded 6 days ago. But we'll give it a chance. Let's see what happens. I wonder if it will be the 44 population community that is singing this micronational anthem, or if it's going to be some kind of computer generated micronation, or what it typically will be some kind of instrumental with no input whatsoever. In fact, I'm very interested to see what part the 44 members of this micronation have to play in this. So right, let's get on with this micronational anthem. Is that not the Star Spangled Banner? Hang on a second. That's the American national anthem, isn't it? That's the American Star-Spangled Banner. Or it sounds very much like it. Say no words. Oh, we've changed now. I've skipped through and it's completely changed. Skip. Right. So there's no words to their micronational anthem, so we're none the wiser. And then all the rest of their videos are just YouTube shorts. Let's have a little weather update of Vensia.
Hello everyone, this is your president, the Republic of Vensia President Noodle.
Noodle.
So basically,
so it's not nodal, it's noodle. Okay. Right.
It's very windy right now in Vensia territories. It's very windy. It's a beautiful day today. The sun's shining bright, the trees are shaking.
Okay, well this is the weather update, right? Let's see, okay, weather update, okay, so it is a consistent thing. It is consistent. They stand on the roof and they show you the weather. So that's, again, I suppose, a consistent thing to a degree. But I suppose it only counts if you live near Vensia. But, okay, right. Any lives? No. Any playlists? No. For more info, go to YouTube. Well, that's where we are. Right, okay, so this is the only information I've got then. The chat with the president is upcoming. Right. Scheduled for the 13th of March. For the 13th of March? It's the 19th of March today of me doing this video. So when's the chat with the president coming? Upcoming when? Right, okay. Again, there's not a lot of information here, is there? I don't understand why you've asked me to do a review if this is all the information you've got. Let's go and see what we can find on Twitter. Right, so I'm back on Twitter, but I'm on the tweet that I originally tweeted just to see if they are on there, which they're not. Lamarck we've done. Guania is done. Australia is done. The Republic of Gamers is done. Obscurium is done. Yeah, they're all done. We've done all of these. But they are on Twitter and they do follow us. They just never left a comment for whatever reason. Anyway, here we are. They have been a member since 2021. They've got 170 followers. Let's see what we can find out. This is the official Twitter page of the Republic of Vensia, and they are a micronation located in Asia, India. They are a growing nation featuring real-life events and currency, and you can join their Discord. So, again, a Discord sort of thing. We don't do Discord here. Right, let's see, we got weather. This guy likes the weather. We got a flag history. We must have missed that on the YouTube. Right, well, that's not so much a flag history rather than a load of animated flags going up an animated flagpole with the background changing and the flag changing and no history whatsoever. It's more like a sort of a like a mixtape of all the flags that you've potentially had in your own history, but there's no history on the actual flag itself, is there? Let's see if we can find out more about this flag. Weather. More weather. Should we change our PFP to for a day and what? I don't know. Should we host a space later? 100% yes, with one vote. I don't understand. There's some fun facts. We got a fun fact. Vensia fun fact. Did you know when it's 7 p.m. in Vensia, it gets 100% dark, and when it's 6 a.m. in Vensia, the sun comes out? You mean like everywhere else in the world? I mean, the times might be different. But you mean like, are you talking sunsets and sunrises? Because that happens worldwide. I hate to tell you this, but it does happen everywhere. We get that in Wayward. At Wayward, the sun sets and it gets really dark. And then in the morning, the sun rises and it's daytime again. Yeah, it's pretty magical. The president's exams are ending tomorrow. A week of suffering has finally ended. See, why do you see an education firstly as a suffering? You should feel privileged and feel, you know, proud that you are getting an education and you're becoming educated. Many people aren't and don't have that ability. So that's annoyed me from the get-go. You're suffering because you're educated. Right, okay. Oh no, what a shame. And the fact that you're doing exams means that you're not necessarily old enough to be, unless you're in like a university like situation, you're not old enough to be a president, realistically. Are you? Let's be fair. Let's keep going. Our first stamp has arrived, but we're not allowed to see what the stamp looks like. Is it just approved? A government stamp? Oh, it's got Vensia on it. Well, let's see it. Let's see the stamp. Not the actual stamp itself, but the stamp of what it stamps. Right. More weather. We've got our own weatherman. Do you know what I mean? People have their own weathermans. Is this specifically for people following you on Twitter, or is it specifically for your own micronational community? Because if it's for your own micronational community, then you might want to change the weather to their locations and not necessarily your own. And if it's for everybody else, why do they care what the weather's like in Vensia in India when some of them may live like in Canada or Australia or in England like myself? Yeah. Or is it to be suggested that the 40 plus population all live in the same area or vicinity? Because that could be a thing. It could be like a village thing. It could be some kind of like, I don't know. I've only just seen the video of like a rooftop and there weren't 44 people there. So I'm assuming that these 44 people are living in other countries. So their weather is definitely going to be different. Yeah, I'm not quite sure why the weather of where you are is relevant to the micronation or a benefit to your micronational community. There's the stamp, right? Oh, I see. Okay, so you couldn't put these in the same post. Okay, Republic of Vensia approved government stamp. Your flag, when it's blue like that, does look very sort of like Israeli, like Israel kind of flag, doesn't it? So you might just want to consider the type of ink or colour of the ink that you're using when stamping. More weather. More weather. Yeah, we got a little flag there. Fair enough. He's got his little flag flying. Right, they've got a live stream here, which is officially started, which was on YouTube. But when I went onto YouTube and I looked on the lives, there were none. Because this video is private. Right. That's, okay, a clarification, I guess. So that's no good. They went live 5 days ago, apparently, but it's private. Live stream today, 50-50. How did you make your decision on this then? When 50%, why, I don't understand. 50% of the people are like, no, we don't want to see your live stream today. Why do they vote no? 50% no. Why do they not just like go, oh, I won't bother watching it? Why give them the, it doesn't make sense. Because how did you choose between each one of those? Because you did the live feed, we've seen that. The live stream today, 50% said yes. So you decided to go with the 50% that said yes and not the 50% that said no. But what happens if 100% of people had said no? You just wouldn't have bothered doing it. What if 60% said no, but 40% said yes? Would you not do it because the 40% still want you to do it, but 60% have said no, like it's a majority rule, when those 60%, it doesn't change anything for them whatsoever, because even if you did the live feed, they don't have to watch it. So why not just do the live feed? Why not do polls for things that are actually relevant? I just feel like this is going to be a waste of my time. More weather. Note to the citizens. Due to the president, Mr. Noodle, not Nodal, having final exams starting tomorrow, this account may become a little inactive. So this is what I mean. You can't be running a micronation, can you? Let's put this into the definition of mini country. Sorry, everybody. You're going to have to go home. The presidential meeting has been postponed because he's learning his ABCs tomorrow. It just doesn't make sense. If you're running a country, you need to be running the country. Surely. I'm not saying it has to take up your full-time thing. Do you know what I mean? You don't have to, there's people with jobs that run micronations. There's adults that run micronations. I'm a very busy person, but I manage my micronation. But I would never say to my citizens, supporters, my followers, my population, sorry guys, can't be there for you because I've got because if I was in a position where I couldn't give all of my all to my people, I wouldn't be a micronation. I wouldn't have founded one. You've got to have the time to do it. You've got to. Maybe I'll put that in my next micronational tip video. You really need to have the time to do it. Otherwise, what's the point? What is the point? One of the fundamental things that makes you a micronation is being able to govern. Having a functional government is one of the things you need to be doing, especially if you've got a population of an apparent 44 people. Right, so now we've got this picture, the official Vensian garden located on floor 2. Right, what have we got here though? These are just flowers. Okay. Do you know what I would do there? Right, here's a bit of advice for you, some constructive criticism. Get rid of the pots. Get yourself a raised bed. Get yourself some compost in there and start growing yourself some produce. Move these pots out of the way. These are just flowers. They're pretty, they're nice, yep, they're lovely. But if they're not giving you any kind of produce or resource, then they are just wasting your time. Let's be honest. Let's get them out the way. Let's get some raised beds here. Let's get some, you got the sun. Let's get some food. You could grow amazing things in India. You really can. You've got the climate for it. Why are you just wasting? Look at all this space you're wasting. There's some constructive criticism. Utilize the space you've got. That's like, one of the biggest tips that I can give any micronation. You need to utilize the space you have. I've said this previously in my founding a micronation video. Utilizing your space and making the most of your space. More weather, more random stuff. We've got another poll here. If we host a Twitter space, will you all join it? 50% yep, 50% never. 2 votes. You've got 2 people. Again, forget these polls. Stop the polls. Unless it's 60 people saw this poll and only 2 people voted. 1 person said that they would join, 1 person said they wouldn't. So it's either going to be you and 1 other random person, or you're never going to do it because 1 person said not to. I don't understand why you're wasting your time. You can't run a micronation being dictated to by just a handful of people. I mean, when we would do polls, we do polls for our people, but we do it specifically for a result that actually means something. And if I want to do a live broadcast, I do a live broadcast. And those who watch, and those who don't. Your flag is officially 2 years old. Is this the only flag you've got? Get some more flags. That's my next constructive criticism. Get some flag. Get a flag, a big flag, and fly it on your roof, right? Because what I'm seeing here is you live on the roof somewhere of a building. That's your micronation. And I'm not criticizing your territory because, frankly, I'm just worried this is going to waste more of my time anyway. But I'm not going to criticize where you are or what you're doing with your territory. You're on a rooftop. From that, I can see from these buildings here that your home is going to be similar to something like this, or your territory, right? So get a flag and fly that flag up on the roof, and get some veg beds and utilize that space. Get a banana tree in a pot, or an orange tree in a pot, or something, anything, and you're growing produce. You know? So this is your territory here, right? So this is literally your territory. Let's see what this says here. We are officially releasing our updated territories. Vensia is firmly consisted on 2 floors and 6 divisions. Currently, no division has been made at a state, but we are planning to make one soon. Well, this was in March, on the 9th of March, and they haven't done it yet because I've not seen it. But from what I understand is they've got a first floor plan there with, say, 3 rooms and an open plan room. That's what I'm kind of getting there. It's like a home. But then the floor 2, there where we've seen the pots, that is the roof, and that's a roof kind of thing. I don't understand how we've gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Where's your 5th division? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. And 6. The 5th division must be the secret division. I'm guessing. I don't know. Still talking about the Discord. More weather. Put their link to the anthem on there. You've got the official diary. And it'll be used for writing our nation's rules and other important data. Fair enough. Do we know any of these rules? Do we get told any of these things? No, we just know that they're in a little black book somewhere. This isn't sounding like a republic. This is sounding more like, you know, again, a dictatorship. All the rules and all the important data is in a little black book that's kept by the side of the president. And he's got that, not the people. And again, I'm not really seeing much interaction from citizens. But we've got more here of 3 votes. If we go live on YouTube, will you all watch our live stream? Of course we will, 67%. Maybe if I've got time, 33%. And I will not watch it, 0%. I don't understand why you're asking. Just do it and see who logs in and views you. It'd be more impressive if you said, we're going to make a veg bed, vote for what you'd like us to grow. That would be I would give you so many points for that, but I just feel like this is wasting my time and I'm not feeling it. Like, all your information's in that little black book, not advertised to the people. And the people are voting on if you should go live or not, and not actually anything to do with, should we make our own badges? 50% said yes, right? 50% said yes. Where are the badges? 3rd of March you said that, and 50% said yes. I've not seen a single badge. And you were founded since 2021. We're now in 2023. I'm not believing that you were founded in 2021. The evidence just doesn't speak for itself. Does it? The flag is prehistoric. It's like a prototype. It's not been updated in 2 years to an actual flag flying on the building. The garden is not producing any produce. All the rules are in a little black book. All we're getting is the weather and polls that don't seem to come into any fruition. Should we make badges? Yes. Well, where are they? Don't have any. Okay. Right. They've just opened a YouTube channel. We will regularly. You need to typo change that. We will regularly update, and other info will be there. Fair enough. And they are. I'll give them that. They are. But whether you want to. Oh, they did make it. Oh, they made a typo. Look. Ugh. We're in sync. But they are doing these YouTubes. But whether you want to see them or not, I suppose that's entirely your perspective and prerogative. Right. What's that? We have found ourselves an old pen. No. You have found yourself a feather that's fallen out of a bird that has flown overhead. That's what you found. This is like Obscurium, where they just picked random things up and said, look at all our historical artifacts. Come on, guys. We have received unfortunate news that President Noodle has got an extreme fever. We hope that he recovers. We hope that he recovers soon. Well, evidently he did, so that's okay. I just don't see much information on their actual micronation. Again, Twitter Blue has just got released in Asia and in Vensia as well. Should we buy Twitter Blue? 67% yes. Did you buy it? Did you get it? Just don't understand. Well, they did a micronational art event. We are officially announcing our new international micronation event, MicroArt. It is an event which any nation can join, and the best art will become the winner. We will be soon opening registration forms, so stay tuned and follow us to be up to date. That was in the 28th of January. Hang on. We have removed the registration form idea and instead decided to make it all happen within Twitter. The arrangements have begun and we are just putting the final touches, so get those paintbrushes ready on the 2nd of February. They have started the micro art competition. To enter, just reply to this tweet with your art. If your art is found to be stolen or if you're using someone else's art, you'll be disqualified. The micro art will end on the 7th Tuesday. The prize will be announced soon. Okay? And then nobody took part. Is that right? Or is that the winner there? Some sweet Vensia Pride fan art. Well, that could be your winner, I guess, because I don't think anybody took part, did they? That's what I mean. I think you're worrying too much about involving other people. But, you know, fair enough trying to encourage the micronational community to get involved. That's the thing, they don't want to get involved, do they? 177 people saw that tweet. Not one of them got involved, did they? I mean, people have even said that they're going to get involved. The Republic of Why do people have these ridiculously hard names to pronounce? Maybe it's just me. Republic of Skyinistan. They said, can they join? Did they? Didn't see anything. No, not entirely sure. The Crown Republic of York, something or other. Kingdom of Randomia. Yeah, we'll stick all these on the list, I think, because these sound like fun places to go and visit. But there's no. Oh, we literally just jumped back to the top. Oh my goodness, really? There is no. Well, that's good actually, because I can have a look to see if there is any art. Where's the art? That's not art from the competition, is it? Where are these art competitions? Where? None. Don't know why it matters. Apart from that one. That must be the winner then. From Randomia, I guess. I assume. Don't know. Moving on. Can we rate your flags? Interesting. Can we rate your flags? Oh, there's our old friend. The Kingdom of Allegardia. Yeah. Yeah, so you like how you use purple. We are not the same. I just don't like when people use purple in the context of royalty and pompousness. To me, purple is a punk colour. Like punk purple. It needs to be used specifically in specific places. Putting it on flags just tells me it's more about ego than anything else. Pompousness. This is the Crown Republic of... I'm going to assume it says Yorkshire, but I could be wrong. But that's theirs. A lot of colour. A lot of randomness. Yeah, flag inside a flag. 10 out of 10 for that. I would give them 1. We're going to come back to you, Crown of Republic of Yorkshire, because I want to see what's going on with all these mishmash mushness. Then there's the Skyinistan. Good flag. That's a good flag. I like that flag. We're going to come back and do these in a different review, so make sure you hit that subscribe button, because we're definitely gonna come through there. And there's another one there. That's another good flag. I don't know, Fanleka MFA or something or other. You gave them an 8.5 out of 10. It's a better flag than, well, anyways. Moving on. So they want to host a micro cup, virtual micro cup. Again, Discord, virtual. It's all red flags, isn't it? We have noticed our ally nation, Redut, has went under the radar. We have tried our best attempts to gain contact, but all have failed so far. Do you know why? Because these micronations, they don't last longer than a week. That's why. Most micronations do not last longer than a week. You've probably got loads of allies that no longer exist, and recognition treaties from micronations that have just fallen to the wayside long ago. The Republic of Randomia just made another alliance with the Republic of Vensia. Another alliance with you, as in they had an alliance with you previously, and now you have an alliance again, or as in another alliance, as in context of all their other alliances. I don't know. What is the weather in your area? You really like the weather, don't you? We have a Waywoodian like that. We do. Yeah, it's some people's thing. Our anthem was recently published. Yeah, but it's not really your anthem, is it? Again, I just feel like I'm not learning anything. The TDC Empire has cut ties with Vensia. We are no longer allies with the TDC Empire. We respect the dedication from T Studios from Venisia. Oh, hell, Venisia. So you have a little flag there. Yeah, waving little flags about. But where's your big flag on top of the roof? Look at this space. Right. Right, look at this space here. Do you know what I'm seeing? Dead space. Look at all this space. You can't utilize this. You can't have a rooftop garden. You couldn't turn this into a rooftop garden. Look at it. If this is your territory, utilize it, because right now your mini country is nothing but a barren wasteland of concrete slab. That is it. And somebody's washing. Where's the flag? Where's the produce? And don't tell me you can't do it, because you have the perfect climate to do it. On a roof garden, you could grow herbs, you could grow flowers if you chose to, but you could grow vegetables, you could grow fruit. There's no excuse. No excuse. You don't have that could literally be your agricultural kind of side to things. This here is just a shameful evidential fact that you've done nothing with your territory since 2021. Vensia is officially going into lockdown. All reasons are classified. So why bother telling people? Why bother telling people? Why bother? Doesn't make any sense. I want to know. Oh, we're at the end. But I want to know what the flag's about. I want to know the lyrics to your micronational anthem. I want to know what this currency is that you're talking about, that you've bragged about. I don't understand. How can we be at the end? What? Right. Okay. Right, so Google may have some more information. We've got disboard.org. I don't know what that is. Disboard. Is it like Discord? I don't know. There's roleplay, hangout, economy, micronations, state of Benevia. The Republic of Venisia is a state located in Asia, content surrounded by half India and half the Indian Ocean. Vensia has many things to offer, including a custom economy bot, events and activities. Right, we've not seen any of this. Official industries, like what? Create private company. Self-roles, a proper and realistic government. Is it? Because a president with a little black book is not a realistic government. Is it? I'm not joining this server. So, that's it. Really. They do have a Facebook link here, though. Let's click that. Oh, it wants me to share their Discord thing. Nope. Let's discard that. Right, so we're realistically none the wiser. What's next? What's this one? Disboard.org. Again, it's the same one, isn't it? Same one, yeah. YouTube. I've got a Twitter here for not them. January the 11th. Some... What? This, I don't think, has anything to do with them. And if it does, it's getting beyond my comprehension. And I think that's it. I can't... this is just nothing else I can think to look at. So, I'm back where it all started. Back on the Republic of Vensia, or whatever it is. There's no videos that I've missed that I can see. I suppose we can make our way through the shorts quickly, as they are short. We've seen this one.
Hello everyone, this is you.
Yeah.
Hello everyone, it's the president of Vensia and Noodle here, and today is a beautiful day again in Vensia. Weather update, weather update.
I'm going to go on the assumption that you live in India, so the weather is always going to be a constant nice weather, right?
Beautiful day.
Call me naive, because I'm British, but you get really nice weather out there a lot of the time. It's why you have one of the nicest, like, jungles and environments in Asia. Asia is like an amazing country, isn't it? Because of your climate. So I just imagine it's not going to be snowing anytime soon. Anyway, carry on.
It's Saturday, 30 degrees out here on the second floor. We got our next...
Let's just stop right there. But did anybody else just see that blue barrel? Are you telling me that you're not collecting water, but you have the ability to collect water up on the roof? Because that's something else that we've not mentioned here. Have you got guttering? Are you collecting rain? Because I'm going to assume that it does rain, Mr. Weatherman. So is it a case of you just can't be bothered, or it's not a priority for you? Or do you actually collect water? I don't know. But I saw a blue barrel. I wonder what that is and what it's used for.
plants there, more national plants, and this is the
Oh, I missed it again.
transportation system go down.
That blue barrel there. What's that blue barrel doing? Just sitting there doing nothing. Why?
Pole, no reason why it's there.
That's not a pole. That looked like an air vent. Oh my goodness. Right.
This is the transportation system go down. Pole.
Right, so I've come back here where he said pole. It's here in the bottom left bit, right? That's not a pole. Okay? That's like an air vent. It's like a vent. Not a pole. I just had to come and double check that for myself.
No reason why it's there.
You don't know why it's there? It's because you're too young. It is because you're too young and you have no life experience whatsoever. That's why. Ask your parents why it's there. Because it is an essential part of the building. Okay? It's an air vent. It allows airflow. Okay?
Okay, that's the birds, a few buildings.
You tell us this like we don't know what a building or a bird is. We don't want to know. This, firstly, is supposed to be about the weather. Well, we know about the weather. It could have been done in 10 seconds. It's sunny. Look, not a cloud in the sky. Done. Sorted. And then that would have been a short. But you have the opportunity here to actually show us what you're going to do, your plans for your territory, the kind of, you know, what are your goals here. You've got all this space. And the things that you're concentrating on is the fact that you don't know what an air vent is, and you've got a blue random barrel that could be used to collect water when or if it rains. I'm sure it does rain there at some point, but you've got the ability to do so. So I don't understand why you concentrate on showing us the sun.
Yeah, that's the sun over there. Yeah.
That's the sun over... Okay. Now you're going to tell us what the sun. Now you're going to tell us about the sun.
That's just. We'll also be putting out a few videos about our nation and territories we own. So
That's what
stay
we want to
updated to the
see.
channel for that, and also follow our Twitter and join our Discord. Okay. Bye. Hello.
Okay, so they've just confirmed that they have Twitter, YouTube, and Discord. That's good. That is good. Because it means that we have found everything that we can find on them. But I want to know more about this rooftop space and the territory and what you're actually doing as a micronation. Not as somebody who's interested in the weather, because that's not micronational. Right, next video. Out for a night walk.
Nighttime walk.
Again, pointless information. What is this got to do with anything? This has nothing to do with anything micronational whatsoever. We're walking down a street in India. This is, I'm again wasting my time. Next video.
Morning, everyone.
Again, nothing to do with their micronation. Yet again, another waste of my time.
Walking in the daylight. Hey, hello everyone. This is the President Noodle. It's very hot right now in Vensia. It's 32 degrees.
Hang on a second. So was that flag a Vensia flag or was it an Indian flag? Let's just try that again.
Everyone. This is the
Go
President
back.
Noodle. It's very hot right now in Vensia.
That flag right there. What is that flag? What is it? Is that an Indian flag? Why don't you have your own flag?
Super hot and
it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, we're on the second territories right now of Vensia. Oh my god. So.
And you sound surprised that it's hot in India. You're on the rooftop in India.
On the Vensia territory.
Look at this space. It doesn't make sense.
Next week.
I can't. It just triggers me too much because I hate idleness and laziness. And you're just videoing the weather.
Noodle here. What's up, guys? It's your President Noodle. Good afternoon. Hey, I'm gonna be making a video.
Wait, this flag.
So
What is that flag? Not your flag.
Long video, short video. Who cares? Video. Okay. Noodle here. What's up, guys? It's your President Noodle. Good afternoon. Hey, I'm gonna be making a video.
Right, so this flag that's there, that's not your flag, that's an Indian flag. You could put your flag there, could you not? Is it your flag? Because it doesn't look like your flag. I don't know. But these big black barrels, what are they? This has nothing to do with the micronational review whatsoever. I'm just curious to know what these big black barrels are on your rooftop and what flag that is.
Stay tuned for that.
It just looks too orange to be yours.
Short video, who cares? Video. Okay. Noodle here. What's up, guys? It's your President.
I'm gonna watch this again now.
Hey,
do you see? That's not your flag, is it? Is that your flag there? I'm gonna have to Google the Indian flag. Yeah, it's definitely an Indian flag. So you got the Indian flag, but you don't have your own flag. Right, moving on. More sun. Right. I don't know why this didn't occur to me sooner. Not only are you not growing anything on your garden, on your roof terrace thing, you're also not collecting water unless that's what the big black barrel is. I'm assuming that big black barrel there is water, right? But where are your solar panels? We've already established that you've got enough sun on your rooftop, but where are the solar panels? Maybe it's just not your thing. All this sunshine. Oh. No. And that's it. You've seen that. That's it. Right. I think that's it. I'm done. And that is pretty much all. Let's just call that a day here and yeah. Say goodbye to Vensia.
What benefit is there to us?
Right, so if you are new to the micronational reviews, then I will try my best to catch you up. But I do suggest that you go back and watch the other reviews because they're not always as critical. We have had some great ones, and don't just judge me on the way that I am judging other micronations without seeing the kind of fairness that I am trying to implement in the other videos and in previous reviews that I have done. But we have a way of kind of judging the micronations in order to rank them in a micronational kind of, on a micronational scale, if you like. So the way we do this is not only are we looking for micronational things that tick off the micronational list, right? And just for those that want to know what this micronational list is, I'm just going to add this into here. I'm just going to add this in here now. Right, so I just want to show you this because a lot of micronations will stand under this Montevideo Convention on the rights and duties of states to declare themselves a micronation, right? So the principle is that in order to be a state of America, you have to meet criteria to be that kind of state or that kind of micronation or a nation within your own right. And the background, in most cases, as it says here, is that it was the only avenue open to self-determination for colonial or national ethnic minority populations. It was for them to achieve international league of personalities as a nation state, which basically means, from my interpretation, now correct me if I'm wrong, it was for a way for the Native Americans of America to set themselves apart within their own communities and say, we are separate from, you know, the colonialists or the Americans. And it was a way for the colonial sort of population to say, well, this is now our land and now this is our state and it's ours. And that's basically what it is. But nonetheless, no matter what it kind of came from, people do still feel the need that, still feel like that if they stand under this, then they can declare themselves a micronation. But with this, there is obviously a checklist that you have to tick off in order to stand under this. Would you hear the 4 elements of the state according to the Montevideo Convention is Article 1 of the Convention provides that the state as a person of international law should possess the following 4 qualifications: a permanent population, a defined territory, a government, and capacity to enter relations with the other states. So that's what it's basically saying is the principles of being a micronation. So we are looking for territory, population as in a community. We are looking for a functional, practical government and how they do enter into relations with other people or other countries, other states or other governments like this. These are literally the 4 things, the pillars of where micronationalism is stemming from. You can't deviate from this as far as I'm concerned, and that is what we're looking for when I say we're looking for things micronationally, is those 4 things. As well as your flags and national anthems and things like this. So that's what we're kind of looking for. We're looking for that kind of micronational kind of things, right? That's the micronational criteria that we're looking at. And that's just the basics, the very, very basics of the micronational kind of, the micronational expectation, if you like, when you hear the word micronation. That's what we're looking at. That's what we're looking at. But anybody can do this. Anybody can make a flag. Anybody can do, well, apparently anybody can do this. Not so many are making national anthems, and not so many are making their own currencies or bringing communities together. Not so many are doing this, but a lot of micronations can claim to. So we are looking for what they are doing, and if their claim to micronationalism is warranted and has merit, in accordance to what is a micronation. It's not something that's my opinion. It's something that is classed as a micronation. It's defined. That's the definition. But because anybody can just get a flag and say we're a micronation, we look at it from a different aspect as well, which is what benefit they actually are. What benefit are they to their own citizens? If you were wandering the barren desert wasteland for months on end and your rations were gone and you had no water, and you came up to this territory and you crossed over the border into this country, what would you find? What would there be? What would you have there? Where when they say, come on in, are you going to have any benefit of joining that micronation and actually have somewhere that you can say, yeah, this is an oasis in the middle of the desert? Or are you going to say, I'd rather just carry on through the desert to find another place that can actually save me and actually be a place? Because we're looking at it from the perspective of a citizen that is a potential citizen, you know, looking at this micronation from the outside going, what benefit is there to me if I join this country, if I become a citizen of this micronation, of this community? What benefit is there to me? So we look at it from the perspective of the citizens. Now, I know every citizen is going to have an individual reason or a personal reason for joining a micronation, but I'm considering joining your micronation. I'm the one that you have to convince. So I'm going to go online, as I have done, and see if it is enticing and say, oh, is it worth me going to this micronation? It's like a catalogue. Oh, which micronation am I going to choose to go in, join, on the principle that they are functioning countries? And depending on what each micronation is doing, depends on how functional they actually are and how practical they are. It depends on what produce they have. It depends on what they are doing import-export wise. It depends on what they have to offer for their communities. It all depends on different factors and in a lot of contexts that we do talk about during the reviews. However, the benefits to your own citizens should be marked clearly and as an advertisement of, this is what we're doing as a country, as a group. Come and join us. So we're looking at that. That's one of the first things that we look for. The second thing that we look for is what benefit they are to the outside world. What benefit are they doing? Because the reason I feel micronationalism deserves more merit and a lot more praise and applaud is because there are a lot of micronational groups out there that are doing stuff actively, either for the environment or for charity or for something that benefits somebody else that is not them or affiliated with them. These selfless acts of care for the villages that they live in, or the environments that they care about, or the people that they want to help, that I feel deserves to be given some credit where credit is due. There, that's a great thing to be using or utilizing your micronation to do. That's a fantastic thing. So what benefit they are to the outside world is another thing that we look at. And of course, as an active micronation, looking for other micronations that we can recognize as micronations in the kind of grand scheme of things, and this is how it began, does Wayward recognize itself as a micronation, or is it going to take a stance similar to Samaria, where we don't want to be a micronation anymore because we don't want to be associated with all the bottom feeders and all of the micronations that give micronationalism a bad press? Because there are some out there, but there are also these fantastic micronations that are the micronations that I think to myself, they could actually benefit Wayward, and micronationally we could have trade, we could have communication, we could join forces somewhere or somehow along the way to prosper our own trade, our own economies, our own markets and our own resources, and there could be potential there. So we're always looking at what benefit are they to Wayward, what benefit could they be for us as well. And a few videos into this series of reviews, it was suggested that we have this cool rating, a cool ranking. So I thought, why not? Why not give the kind of viewers something that they've suggested, you know? So I came up with a cool rating and a cool factor. So we judge them on my opinion of if they are cool or not, or if what they are doing is cool or not. And again, it's just my opinion. It doesn't mean anything. And if you don't like it, then you don't have to watch it. You don't have to view it. You don't have to come over here. You don't have to. But if you do enjoy it, hit that subscribe button, because we've still got hundreds of these micronations to get through. They keep popping up, don't they? Every time we go out, we see all these other micronations pop up, and we are going to be reviewing them all one by one, every step of the way, to see who's still around, who's not around, who's affiliated with who, what they're doing, what benefit they are to themselves, what benefit they are to the outside world, what benefit they are to Wayward, what they actually do micronationally, what they stand under micronationally, and how cool I think they are, or what they're doing and how cool that is. And that's on a scale of 1 to 10. And we'll get to that when we get to the rating of this particular micronation. So without further ado, let's get on with the review. So, micronationally speaking, we're not necessarily looking for just flags and national anthems and things like this. We're looking at those 4 elements, those principles of what they actually do have in regards to ticking off that checklist. And if we do find flags and currencies and coins and national anthems and things like this, it's always a bonus to mention them micronationally. So, let's have a look at this. Where's the territory? The rooftop? I'm guessing. So, that's your territory. All right, fair enough. There's some kind of territory, though it's not actually clarified nor told, you know, this is the territory. Though in the videos, it does imply heavily that that is the territory. Permanent population, I'm guessing it's him and his parents. I'm guessing. That's my thought process. That's where I'm at. It's him and his parents, I guess. But are his parents part of that population? Permanent population means there's somebody that's, in your territory permanently as a population. I don't make up the rules. It's just the way that I see it. Third thing, a government. Well, you're still doing your exams at school, and I just don't think, like in many macronational situations in other countries around the world, they wouldn't put somebody under like the age of, say, 18, maybe even 21 in some countries, in a position of power, let's say. Now, this isn't medieval ages anymore where they put 12-year-olds on the throne. This isn't. I'm sorry, but you can't hold a functional government. You can't, because you're not old enough. You don't have the time. You don't even, by your own self-admission, you don't have the time to govern your own micronations. So are you a governing body? And who are you governing? This population is non-existent in your potential implied territory and not your defined one. And of course, we've already seen how they reach out to the world and how you can contact them, because they've got Twitter and they've got YouTube, and they are available on Discord. So that's how they, I suppose, reach out to the world in that respect. Other things, I suppose, micronationally, is they have that national anthem that doesn't actually have any words, and I'm pretty sure it's like a remix of the national anthem, or at least the American Star Spangled Banner, is it? Do 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 do. Very similar. And they spoke of a currency, and I never saw anything. I didn't see a damn thing currency-wise. So, yeah, I don't know. You're flying an Indian flag from what I see. Take the Indian flag down, put up your own flag, define your territory, and then you could say, this is my territory. But at the moment, what I see is you're just squatting on Indian land. That's what you're doing. You're basically saying, I'm in India, flying my Indian flag, but I'm a different country. We wouldn't fly a Union Jack at Wayward. Oh, hell knows. We would not fly a Union Jack at Wayward or an English flag in Wayward. Not a chance. The only way we would fly a Union Jack or even an English flag of that respect is if our English ambassador for Wayward came here and we wanted to define him as that micronational ambassador and governor of our English embassy. That's how we would do that. And that would just be a flag by his seat, by his table, by him, as a symbol of he's the English ambassador. But we would do the same for our Welsh ambassador, our Irish ambassador, our Scottish ambassador, and our French ambassador, because they all have a flag that represents the country of which they are a ambassador of. So we would give that as a symbol of that's what they represent within Wayward, but we would never fly it up proudly in the sky and say, oh yeah, because we are surrounded by England, we fly the English flag. It just wouldn't happen. We're too patriotic as Waywardians for that. Way too patriotic. So what benefit are they if you were to become a citizen of them? Well, they have a barren cement rooftop. That's pretty much it. There is no real benefit you wouldn't get without, looking out the window is the same benefit, because it's just weather-wise. And that's only a benefit if you live near them in the close proximity of the same country and climate. So it would be more beneficial if you looked out your window and saw what the weather was for you than it would be to be a member of this micronation. I mean, I get it. Wayward has a weatherman. He has a weather station for like England and stuff like this. He takes it quite seriously. We're very proud of this. I'm not mocking you for sharing the weather. I mean, a lot of micronations done this as we have seen, but we have a Waywardian weather station that's situated on the east coast of England. We get updates through the weatherman, or the Waywardian weather gives us updates every other day or so, consistent every other day or so, with weather that doesn't just cover his area, but also England, Wales, Scotland, and potentially other areas that could be in weather warnings that he knows that Waywardians are situated. And this is every single day, if not every other day or so, because again, I understand why you would want to share the weather if it's something that you're staying consistent with, because it's content that you can share with your citizens, very much like the macronational world. I myself have my own news broadcast that I do every week without fail. Consistency. For a very long time I have done these broadcasts, and it's like a news broadcast update every single week on a Monday, and that is consistently and exclusively done for the Waywoodians that tune in and get involved with that. And there's lots of elements to that. In fact, we even discuss these very reviews in a more open way. So there is kind of hidden content, if you like, that Waywoodians get to enjoy through the broadcast, because we do like a news broadcast where we give Waywoodian news, Stamarian news, anything that's kind of like newsworthy. But after that news kind of segment, we then have the travel, where I then talk a little bit more in detail about the micronational kind of community, or at least talk more about that micronation that I've gone and reviewed, and I talk about that in the broadcast as part of the travel segment. Then there's a weather segment where I will then kind of sort of talk more about what the weather's been like the last week according to what the weatherman has said. So if he is right and he has predicted well, then I will broadcast that further and sort of give credit to that and say that the weather has been this. But if he's wrong, then we pull him up on it and we make sure that it doesn't happen again, because we need these weather reports, because that's what he's there for. And then we move on to the sports, and the sports section is about the competitions, who's currently winning competitions, the polls that we're holding, stuff like this, and the results that the community can kind of get involved in. Like I said, we do similar polls as well for our citizens, but they have a lot more content and a lot more value than the polls that you're putting out. So we're not against your polls, we're not against your weather reports. It's just you need to be consistent. You've got to be more considerate. You've got to think more about what you're actually doing and saying. You need to be a bit more, as I say, a benefit for your citizens, for people to join you, for people to make your micronation great. I see people start this all the time with their micronations, these little videos and clips that they do of the weather and the news, and to be honest, they are found wanting, they are limited, they are restricted, they are just a waste of everybody's time. And unless you're going to dedicate some time to it, just don't bother. And again, I'm not saying that we're doing it the best way, but we definitely have a way that is consistent. People enjoy it. Waywoodians tune in every week. It stays the same, and they get updates and they get the information that they need. And it's very kind of consistent and considerate to what they would like to see. And we don't just do it for 2-3 weeks and then go, oh, well, now I'm bored, nobody's paying attention, or anything like this, and then stop, which again, a lot of other micronations have done. I'm not judging you on what you're trying to do to entice people over. I just think that you potentially could do better, because the benefits that you are offering people are far more superior in the macronational world, and not much of an enticement at all. You've got to think about what benefits people really want. What do they actually want to see? Do they want to keep hearing you talk about the weather that is above your rooftop? Or is it going to be more beneficial for them to come and watch your videos and learn about what the weather is going to be like in their area, because you've taken the time to learn where they live or where they orientate from, so you can then do a bit more of a detailed weather report for them? And then if that's the case, are you just not a hobbyist weatherman and you're not so much a micronation or a micronationalist or a micronational leader? From your self-admission, you're only on YouTube and Twitter and Discord, right? So your territory is pretty much based around the open space of a rooftop, with the enticement of which we've already seen to come and join you in your micronation, that consists of flower pots, the pipe, which is an air vent sticking out of the ground, a blue barrel, and somebody's washing. You've got so much potential with a space like that, which then leads me on to this kind of, what benefit are you to the outside world, so to say, because you could be growing produce and you could actually have some sort of import-export business, kind of. You know, if you grew vegetables or fruits on your rooftop, you could then put a little stall. I don't know how it works in India, but you could potentially put a little market stall outside your house and sell those for some sort of profits for your own treasury. Then you've got your own produce from your own nation going to a macronation, and it's kind of like an economical thing. It's like, it's a part of being a micronation that import exports things, but you're not. You're just sort of using that space as a rooftop, which again, you need to think outside the box here. You're running a country, apparently. So where are your agricultural side of things, where you could have raised beds there? You've got a prime location and you're not utilizing it. So you could be a benefit, but you're not. And that then leads me on to what benefit you are to Wayward. Well, none, because you have nothing to trade with. Nothing at all. Nothing. You have the potential to have your own solar panels and create electricity for your nation, yet you don't. You're on a rooftop there. You've even said in one of the videos how windy it was. You could have had a wind turbine, but you don't. You could have raised beds. You could be growing food and vegetables and fruit and stuff like this, but you don't. You know, you could be collecting rainwater. You may be, I'm not entirely sure, but you definitely have the potential to be collecting more rainwater, but you're not, from what I've seen or from what you've said. There is no real kind of tour of what everything is. You've given a floor plan of six divisions, but there's only 5 present of your territory, which again doesn't tell us anything about what you're doing. And you've been established for many since 2021. You've been established for quite a few years, or 2 years or whatever it is, for a long time you've been established. So what have you actually achieved in this moment? Nothing. So what benefit are you to anybody? No, nothing. You've even said about having a currency that doesn't exist. Your nation doesn't exist. It doesn't. It's not a benefit to anybody. It's a potential benefit. I'll give you that. It's potential. But other than that, and that's going on the fact that I just ignore the fact that your territory is a rooftop and a building and not like land that's defined. I'm just going on the assumption that you just have a rooftop territory and that's that. I'm not even going to go into that. But it's a non-existent micronation. You're a hobbyist weatherman with a flag that you don't even fly above your territory. You need to do more. You could do more. You could, and again, maybe when you're older you will. I don't know how old you actually are. I'm just going on the assumption that it's because you're doing your exams and stuff that you're quite young and you're taking education for granted, which means that, you're probably in a lower level of education and not adult education, because adults in education tend to join that education future on in life because they want to, because they understand the value of education. You don't tend to see it that way, which tells me you're very young and you're living on a kind of assumption that you can run a country. And I just don't see that. You can be selling it all day long, but I'm not buying it because what you have in your catalogue isn't enticing enough. You need to up your game a bit. Up your game. Utilize the space you have. Check out my previous video, Founding a Micronation. There's a few tips in there that potentially you could benefit from. Check that out. Right, so the cool factor, let's have a little look at the cool factor, shall we? Because frankly, again, it's not cool to just be a micronation. That's not good enough. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, it's cool that you started a micronation. What would be cool is knowing the reasons for it, but there are no reasons. What would be cool is to know what your flag was actually about. That would kind of give me, if it was a cool reason, that would kind of give me, that deserves some credit. But that's not what's happening here. I think it's quite cool that you're in India because you're the first micronation from Asia, or at least India, that we have reviewed so far. I just expected more. It's like when we went to, and I really don't like pronouncing this because I always feel I'm pronouncing it wrong, but it's like when we went to Uandia, and that was our first kind of African micronation that we went to, and it was as expected. They're utilizing the space they have. I love that micronation. I go and I rave about it a lot when I kind of talk about micronations. It is a micronation that I think is a great example of what a micronation can be when given the kind of right mindset and resources. So they've got the climate, they've got the sun, and they are growing fruits and vegetables. Fantastic. Well, you're in India. So my expectation was you could have, a potential abundance of fruit and vegetables because of your climate and stuff like this. Then I kind of had to be realistic when I realized that you were just a rooftop micronation. But then I thought that's no excuse. I've seen some amazing rooftop gardens and food gardens situated on rooftops and in smaller spaces than that on people's balconies. So there is no real excuse for that. You don't have an excuse apart from laziness and idleness. That's all I see. But again, the potential is there because you have got a fantastic climate to achieve things like growing certain fruits and vegetables and food sources that we could never grow in the UK. So I think you should up your game. But I mean, apart from the fact that you're the first Indian micronation, that was quite cool, but again, disappointing to a degree. I don't know, it's a tough one because I don't want to rank you really, really low because, you have put some effort in, but at the same time, there is no real motivating aspect to you. There is no real benefit to you. There is no real defined territory or uniqueness about you. I don't know. I think for what it's worth, it's probably going to have to be like a 2. Like a 2, maybe 3, 2, 3, 2. Yeah, let's just say 2. I think it's going to have to be a 2. Let's just say 2. And that 2 is literally that burning desire to just walk away and give up, which I did feel I had every time I saw that big open space not being utilized. And that's a big pet peeve of mine. So I'm going to have to say 2 out of 10 for the coolness factor. And yeah, that's that. That's as fair as I can make it. If you've enjoyed this review, then please feel free to leave a comment and tell me what you think. It'll either get ignored or I'll do a video about it, but still feel free to leave those comments if you wish. Hit the subscribe button. We'll be doing more videos in the future, especially the micronational reviews, but also other videos to do with our own micronation Wayward, our kind of dynamics and what we're doing and what we're up to, but also sort of macronational sort of outlooks and perspectives on what's going on in the countries that are happening worldwide and doing things worldwide right now, as we continue to watch our little acorn grow into a mighty oak tree.